Good morning. How are you? So, I'm trying a little experiment today with all of you, and please bear with me. I am going to address a very important topic, and that is is it possible for us to live life from beyond the conditioned mind? And if so, how would then our life be different? How would our life be different if we could live from the level of pure consciousness or infinite possibilities? So, thank you for bearing with me on a subject that is very dear to my heart, and I'll do my best to explain everything that I'm talking about. Okay, first I want to start off by saying is that every word I utter, every word that you utter comes from the conditioned mind. So I have to use words in order to explain the conditioned mind, and then also go beyond the conditioned mind. All we have is the fragmented mind, and so we have to use the fragmented mind to go beyond the mind. Okay, so let's start. The first thing I want to say now, after I said the first thing before, is that we are all born into a world that is already interpreted for us. We are born into a world that is already interpreted for us. So as soon as we are born, we're given a name. You are Deepak. We are given an identity. You are male. You are Indian. Your family comes from a Hindu background. And on and on. So right in the beginning, right as soon as we start to hear words, and as soon as we understand those words, we create an experience which says there's me, and then there is all this, the world. There's me, and there is all this, the world. So that starts off when we are less than a year old. Now, of course, I can say to you right now that the world and me are the same activity. The world and that which I call me, this body-mind, are the same activity. But before the age of 1, we are already introduced to the conditioned mind that says there's me and there's the rest of the universe. There's me, the rest of the universe. And then after that, education begins, which is the recycling of the conditioned mind. And this conditioned mind has existed ever since the cognitive revolution, when humans started to interpret experiences and when humans created language, both oral language and then written language. By the way, if all this is distracting to you, I can take it off. So let me know if I should take off the masks. But there was a reason why I introduced the masks, and that is we are all wearing a mask. It's our ego. We are all wearing a mask. It's our ego identity. And it's a result of the fact that we are already born into a world that is interpreted for us. We are born into a world that is interpreted for us. thousands of years of conditioning, historical conditioning, economic conditioning, racial and ethnic conditioning, religious conditioning, theological conditioning, philosophical conditioning, but everyday social conditioning. And so all our minds are conditioned. And so I'm being asked to maybe remove the mask. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. Okay, so I've removed the mask because a lot of you found it distracting. So we'll let it go now. Okay, we'll do it without the mask, okay? So where I was that we are born into a world that is interpreted for us. And so every experience that we have is filtered through that conditioning. Every experience, whether it's the experience of this, which I call a hand, or this, which we all agree is a book, or this, which is a Fitbit or a watch, all of this is our collective mental construct or the conditioned mind. As a baby, you're born awash in a chaos of what I can only call a gooey mess. Sounds, textures, tastes, smells, sensations, colors, forms, and images. But then the labeling begins, and as soon as the labeling begins, then every experience is filtered through that, including the experience of that which we call our own body. And as soon as you use words, you're participating in the collective mind. As soon as you use words, you're participating in the collective mind. Okay, I'm trying to adjust this now. I'm a little sorry that this is so distracting. Is it distracting? Please let me know so I can change it, okay? But anyway, so what is consciousness before it is conditioned into the mind? And I have to reinforce this by saying that we can only come to this understanding through transcendence of thought. When we go beyond thought, then it's possible for us to actually experience what is called pure consciousness or unbounded awareness, or boundaryless presence. Boundaryless presence. And this boundaryless presence is our own being. It's pure consciousness. It's infinite possibilities. It is the realm of synchronicity or inseparability. It's the realm of pure creativity. It's the realm of pure knowing. It's the realm of infinite correlation, the realm of self-regulation, the realm of the source of attention and intention, and the realm of unpredictability, and the realm of uncertainty. Therefore, the realm of infinite possibilities, literally infinite possibilities. And this can only be achieved if we use our mind for self-reflection. Who am I? Who or what is it that wants to know who am I? What is the meaning and purpose of my existence? What do I really want at the deepest source of my existence? What am I grateful for? In other words, self-reflection. But also, if we go deeper into the nature of awareness, with awareness of perceptual experience, awareness of body, that which we call body, awareness of viscera, internal organs, awareness of mental space, thoughts and images and emotions, and awareness of the web of relationship, including our relationship with the total universe. And then finally, transcendence, going beyond thought, usually through mantra meditation. And so once we have this experience, there's a deeper knowing, and that deeper knowing is that consciousness conceives, constructs, governs, and creates everything that we call everyday reality. But that everyday reality is a human construct, whether we call it a book, or a hand, or a body, or these glasses, or a nose, or those objects behind me, or that light behind me. These are human constructs for modes of knowing and experience. But the knowing is basically self-knowing. The self knows itself as experience, and basic experience is perceptual activity. So awareness modifying itself into a thought, awareness modifying itself into an emotion, awareness modifying itself into a perception, and awareness then interpreting all of that as thought, systems of thought, philosophy, theology, science, mythology, religion, economics, democracy, name it, latitude, longitude, Greenwich Mean Time, on and on. These are systems of thought that we have developed. So, right now, I'm speaking to you in words through the filter of the conditioned mind. And you're listening to this also through the conditioned mind. Every act of perception is a projection of the conditioned mind. Look around you right now, including at your own body, and this is a projection of your conditioned mind. Because in reality, all there is consciousness modulating itself into experience, and the knowing of experience and the interpretation of experience. The rest is a story, including the story, I am Deepak Chopra, including the story that you are John Smith, or you're English, or you're Indian, or you're male, female, transgender, or 43 years old, or any other story that you have. It's a story. We experience our body, mind, and world in the form of stories. But beyond the stories is the source of all stories. So I happen to be reading a very interesting book. It's called How to Change Your Mind. What's the Science of Psychedelics? What the new science of psychedelics teaches us about consciousness, dying, addiction, depression, and transcendence. The author is Michael Pollan. And of course, I've addressed some of these ideas in my book, You Are the Universe, as well. So, what exists beyond the conditioned mind is the source of mind, and the source of perception, and therefore the source of every experience. And by understanding this, we develop deep compassion for everyone, because we recognize that everyone is doing the best they can from their conditioned mind. And there is deep understanding of that, and therefore infinite compassion for those who are lost, but without any condescension. because in a sense we are all lost. And then with that deep compassion, there is the birth of what we can call love and beauty. Love is seeing yourself in another person, and beauty is seeing yourself in an object of perception, no matter what that object is. This or that or anything else. So beauty, love, understanding, forgiveness, and a deep reverence and humility for existence is born as we begin to understand reality with the help of the conditioned mind to go beyond the conditioned mind. Okay, so this is very important, but even beyond that, we lose the fear of death because we realize that even that which we call our body is a shifting, changing, evanescent experiences of sense perceptions. Or that which we call our body is a shifting, ever-changing, evanescent, transient experience. Your body is not the container of awareness. It is an experience in awareness. And that awareness cannot be defined or limited by its contents, including the contents that we call body, mind, and universe. That awareness is boundless, immortal, timeless, spaceless, formless, intangible, and the only reality, modifying itself into the everyday reality, which is a human construct. So, to know yourself as the source of all experience is ultimate freedom to choose. And to also know yourself as the interbeingness in all existence is to be free of the constructs of birth and death as well. So nothing could be more important than self-awareness or self-realization, which is the ultimate goal of all goals. Now this is a very interesting book that I'm reading. I hope to interview Michael Pollan, who had the experience of total loss of ego and understood that as both transcendence and a deeper knowing of that which we call death. Because pure consciousness is not subject to birth and death. Only its modified experiences are. So shifting to this identity, because all other identities that you have are totally provisional and a result of the conditioned mind. These are convenient fictions. I am Deepak Chopra is a convenient fiction, and I walked the streets of New York is an extension of that convenient fiction. And there's a border between Mexico and Canada, and Mexico and the US and Canada is an also convenient fiction. In fact, all borders are convenient fictions. The ultimate reality is transcendence into borderless presence or being, which is the only reality which then recycles as the conditioned mind in time. But that which is the source is not in time. Now, I hope this whole thing that I am recording for you is being seen and being heard, because I have no feedback, but I'm assuming that it is. So until next time, this is the conditioned mind called Deepak Chopra, squeezed into the volume of a body and the span of a lifetime, saying goodbye and thank you. Goodbye and thank you. Goodbye and thank you. Bye bye. I don't even know how to turn this off. So I am going to do my best to turn it off, okay?